What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about something that was on my mind for a little while now. It's actually a problem because it's preventing students from raising their SAT score. It's actually holding their scores down. And the issue arises from these videos that have a title along the lines of solve these questions super fast, SAT speed hacks, SAT solve these questions super fast. And the problem is that these videos are actually giving you a false sense of improvements. Like when you watch these videos, when you binge watch these videos, you feel like you're getting smarter, but in reality, you're not getting smarter, you're probably getting dumber. So in this video, we're gonna do two things. The first is we're gonna go deep dive and try to understand why these videos are such a big problem. See, people only do what they understand. If they don't understand something, people are not gonna do it. So in order for you to change, for you to improve, I'm gonna help you understand why that's the problem. And then I'm going to give you a solution, because the last thing I wanna do, and one of the things I hate the most, is people just complaining, oh, this is a problem, this is a problem, that's a problem, without providing a solution. So I'm gonna give you a solution, way to get around it so that you can start improving and get closer to your target score. So let's get started with today's video. So let's talk about why it is going to be a problem. Because on the surface, it seems completely fine. Like the video shows you how to solve these questions super quickly. It seems like no harm can be done, but it's actually taking you to the opposite direction of improvement. Here's why. See, when you click one of these videos, what's gonna happen is that they're gonna show you a problem, and the person's hand is gonna come in and it's gonna start solving a question by step by step by step process. And in terms of big picture, like looking at it from bird's eye view, what the video is doing is essentially connecting the dots for you. It's telling you, step number 1, do this. Step 2, 3, 4, you do that, and then you eventually get to the answer. It's connecting the dots for you. And when you first saw the video, when you first saw the question, it seemed really hard. But after watching this person solve this question, now it seems super easy. You feel like, okay, if I see this question again on the SAT, I'm gonna know exactly what to do, which means I'm gonna get more questions right on the SAT, which means I'm gonna score higher on the SAT next time. And that's the problem. It's giving you a false sense of improvement. The question just seems easy because the person did all the hard work for you. See, the person connected the dots together for you. SAT math, in an overly simplified sense, is all about connecting the dots together. When you first see a question, you just have to connect the dots together so that you can eventually get to the answer. And the better you get at connecting these dots together, the more questions you're going to get right on the SAT, which means a higher score you can get on the exam. So the reason why these videos are so bad is that they are only demonstrating how the dots are connected. They're showing you, you do this, do this, do this, and do that, but they're not actually teaching you why you have to do this, and do this, and do that in order for you to get to the answer. So no matter how many times you watch these like super fast solving SAT videos, the most you're gonna get out of is just knowing how to solve those specific questions that will never show up on the SAT again. It's essentially useless. So long story short, the problem with these super fast, super speed solution videos is that it's giving you a false sense of improvement. As the video does all the hard steps of connecting the dots for you, and all you have to do is just simply follow the steps down, it makes you feel like you know how to solve this question now. When in reality, when a variation of this question shows up on the SAT, you will never solve that question. So now that you are aware of the problem, how can I solve it? What can I do to really, truly raise my SAT score? Well, should I like not watch these solution videos? No, these solution videos are actually really helpful. But it all comes down to how you use these videos. Let me explain. See, during this video, I talked about how important it is for you to grow your ability to connect these dots together. Some of you might have already realized, but how well you do on the SAT all comes down to how well you can connect these dots together. Which means to score higher, all you have to do is get better at connecting these dots together. And how can we get better at connecting these dots together? By understanding. Rather than just memorizing how to solve the question by step by step by step, try to understand. Focus on understanding why the person did this step, this step, this step, and this step. See, you can't just memorize the steps, because if you memorize the steps, you can only solve that specific question. But if you understand why the person did this, did that, did this, and did that, then when you see a similar question, when you see a variation of this question on the SAT again, you're gonna know what to do because you actually understood what happened in those steps. And that's the reason why my solution videos are like 5 to 10 minutes long for just a single question. Like if you see the video, you can tell that this question can be solved within like 10-15 seconds. But the video itself is so much longer because I am explaining every single step of the way in detail so that you can understand, not memorize, you can understand what actually happened in this question. Happened in this question. So long story short, the solution is to focus on understanding rather than memorizing when you're watching these solution videos. Because if you memorize the steps, you can only solve that question. But if you actually understand the steps, then you can solve variations of that question on the future SATs. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you guys found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and I'll see you on the next one.